Oh, hi, here I am again with another one of my homemade builds. This time it's a weight bench. It's 30-degree decline bench press to 90-degree upright bench press. And this is where I started when I made my power cage. I tried to modify my old bench to work with it, but didn't quite work. It was so rusted inside I couldn't even weld it. So I went to Lowe's and tried to buy a new one. I mean Lowe's, Sports Authority, Walmart, all those parts where they sell them. So I couldn't find one that it was, you know, built as I wanted it. They were really expensive, like $300, $400, and they were built very cheaply. Didn't like them. Next, you can see I went online and looked for some, and the ones that were good enough to have were very, very expensive. One was the one I modeled mine after is like $1,500 with shipping and handling. And there's another one that's like $600, $700 without shipping and handling. Um, Let me show you the ones that I found that I liked, but I could never afford. Well, I could afford it, yes, but I don't want to spend that much. So I built it myself. And this is the one that I found that I liked, but it's too expensive. And this thing doesn't even go into decline. Uh, it only goes from flat to 90 degrees. And I try to look for one on YouTube, and this is the closest one. It's made by the same people. This is what I think is called the collision and the standard. The zero gap uh, is a part that I liked, and I wanted to have that. It's a small video they have. This one's pretty similar to the other one. The one I built mine, after is kind of like this one. Also, there's another one made by another company, which I also found on YouTube doing my research. Can't remember what it's called, but the video is coming up here in a little bit. This ones have like 3 or 4 settings. I wanted to have more. Not that I don't know if I'm going to use it all, but I'll find a use for it. And if not, better to be there than not be there. And this is the other one. I don't know how it's pronounced. Sorinix, something like that. I don't know. Pretty similar to the other one. 0 to 90, no decline. But the same. Flat to 90 degree. That's it. You know, $1,000 benches, and it can only do that. My space is very limited, so I need one bench that can do everything, not just one thing. So let me show you with what I came up with. Just a little, preview of the finished product. And this is it. 90 degrees, just like theirs. As many settings as I could, you know, put in there in the front and the rear. bench press. Something to hold yourself from with the legs when you do decline bench press. And can't forget the legs. With the other benches, over $1,000, you have to buy a different machine to do leg extension and leg curls. Well, limited space. Gotta have everything in one thing. And finally, leg curls. On this part of the bench, I feel really happy about it. Um, I found out on some other ones, other leg curls I've used, that when you hit your legs parallel, you lose resistance and it just slumps over onto your body, feeling no resistance whatsoever. So you kind of rest there for a little bit until you hit that other parallel, and then you feel the negative part of the exercise. With this one, I found that when I used it, um, I feel resistance all the way, the squeeze, when you do the curl, and then you feel the negative resistance all the way back to the bottom. Um, Designing that way, it just came out that way. I feel really happy about that. Feeling the resistance all the way on the positive and the negative. And now on the building side, um, I grabbed some pictures and took some guesstimated measurements. Putting together the pictures and weight bench I already had. Um, decided what kind of metal I was gonna buy. Uh, Noted down and went and bought some. Did the first cut and designed the joint I was gonna use. Or hinge. Um, going by the pictures on the internet. Kind of took some figuring out. But I finally got it. And I figured it out. Just use some tubing and a cold rolled piece of round steel. Got some wood, cut it, drill the holes, decided what kind of bolts I was going to use. This I was going to do myself, doing the upholstery, but, you know, I don't know how to upholster it. I was just going to do it like a Christmas present type wrapping around it and staple in the back, but I decided to just have somebody professionally do it. And here, just, cut the tubing in the back for the support in the back and the seat, and weld it together. And start working on it. And now it's time for welding the hinge to this, name it skeleton part. The middle piece is going to go to the seat part. The right next to them is going to go to the back part, you know, the upper part, and the two big outside ones are the ones that are going to be welded to the frame itself, the bottom frame. Here, I hung the top part so I can judge the angle. I wanted a 30-degree negative angle for my decline, so I hung it on there, found a 30-degree, and therefore judge how long my pieces for the bottom frame were going to be, and you know um, what the degree on the bottom was going to be, so there'd be a little space for my adjustments. Here I already decided, you know oh, also to decide how tall it was going to be. Found out that the other one were like knee high, in height, about 19, 22 inches, somewhere around there. That other one that I had was a cheapie, about a cheapie one, just so it can hold me up until I finish mine. And it was like $100 one from Sports Authority, and that thing was like halfway between my legs, my foot, and my elbows. My elbows are my knees, and it was real low. It was a pain. It was very uncomfortable. Here I welded the top frame to the lower frame, and hinge is working now. Starting to look more like a bench now. Here I completed the hinge, cut the excess cold rolled steel round. Here I decided that finish that back post. In their design, they have a solid post in the back for the support, and I decided to split it into three parts, which coupled on each other, and that'll give me the 30-degree decline and a 3-degree decline, which I don't know I was going to use, but I found on the internet that it says that it helps with your joints on your um, shoulders. I don't know what to call that part, you know. But there it is. Slides on that post, where I'm going to put my, settings. There, design the first catch, for my first setting. That's for the 90-degree angle. And basically, I worked myself backwards from that one, trying to cram in there as many as I could, and hoping that would one of those would hit me on the 30-degree incline bench press. Thirty-degree or something that feels comfortable for me, you know, for as a decline bench press. And here I started on the front. Oh man, excuse my japping dog. I think he wants to go out for the walk or something. And here I got to the point where, you know, I wanted to show off really. Um, I was really glad that I got this far, and it was pretty solid, and everything was working. like the way I wanted it. I was, feeling really pleased and over the hump. I thought this project was going to be so easy, but it wasn't as easy as I thought. It was a lot of thinking involved. Um, if I would have done it exactly, like the pictures and the videos, it would have been much easier. But making it declined, you know, and thinking of how I was going to do the leg extensions and all the other extra parts I wanted in it, made it a kind of like a challenge. Took a lot of thinking, a lot of looking in the internet. Didn't want to go through trial and error. I just really did the research and you know uh, didn't make many mistakes. It did make a few, but they were corrected. And here's kind of like a handle, and I made some caps because I didn't want to have hollow tubing. I tried to buy those plastic ones, but they didn't sell for the size, the correct size. They didn't sell the 2x4. Also, put the wheels on it, put them on the back, because this sucker is heavy. I can drag it along, but I don't want to drag it. I want to put some wheels in it. And here I've in the process or just finished the leg extension part. That's one of the parts that I feel the most proud of. It really came out real good. I've put two 45s in it, a 35 and a 25 so far, and it does great. And after I was all done, it's time to clean the welds up. This little brush that goes on my grinder worked really good. Makes my crappy welding look good. After all the design was done, it's time for painting. You know, hang everything from the ceiling. You know, so I can paint all sides of it. This one was a challenge. That thing is heavy. You know, took three guys. Two to hold it up, and me. You know, tying it down to the stairs. And that's pretty much it. Priming and painting. Um, I'm very pleased with it. I really like how it came out. It feels great. It's really solid. Um, Everything worked the way I hoped it did. Really pleased with it. I've been using it for about a week, and so far I haven't found any flaws or anything that I would have done differently. Um, I can't take all the credit for this. I actually, took the design from somebody else and made it my own. Sorry that I can't afford their product, but I gotta do what I gotta do to save myself some money. If I can do it, I will. Well, if you like it, share it, like it, subscribe, whatever. Thank you for watching, you know, and if I build anything else, I'll post it, I'll upload it. Thank you.